Good evening, interns.
Good morning, sir.
गुड इवनिंग अंकुश सर. मेरे को लगता है आप सो के उठे हो अभी. आपकी तबीयत ठीक है अंकुश सर?
यस सर, थोड़ा थोड़ा।
अच्छा, ठीक है. तो आज एक्सप्लॉयटेशन शुरू करेंगे. गुड इवनिंग कोमल मैम. गुड इवनिंग आयुषी मैम. आज एक्सप्लॉयटेशन शुरू करेंगे. एक्सप्लॉयटेशन और कल देखेंगे पोस्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन क्या होता है, या शायद आज ही देख लेंगे. जस्ट अ सेकेंड. Okay, let's begin. So, see, still some of the interns don't have PCs or laptops. So, I request them humbly that please, please, please get a laptop or PC, because it is very important. You won't be able to conduct security exploitation things if you don't have these kind of things. And coming to another topic, some of the interns contacted me and they wanted to know about projects. Okay, so I will be telling you some of the project ideas. Okay, you can make it. See, firstly, I have told you about port scanner. Right, we have made it. Okay, can you see my screen? Is my screen visible to you? Okay. So we made a port scanner together, right? So what you can do is, it was just a basic idea. You can weaponize it. Okay, you can bring version detection in it, or you can do other stuffs as well. Okay, you can come with what are the services running on each port. Okay, then what you can do is you can make a vulnerability scanner. Okay, to find out vulnerabilities, or you can if you are not able to make a very big scanner, so what you can do is you can make a very specific vulnerability scanner. For example, a vulnerability scanner that will only detect XSS, or that will only detect SQL injection, or these kind of things. Other than that, you can make keylogger. Okay, but it is quite common project, but still it is very efficient. Okay, so you can make a keylogger. Then there is another project. You can make a USB rubber ducky. See, some of you don't know what it is. I'll show you the images. See, this is what USB rubber ducky looks like. Okay, it is a pen drive. What it is used for is, it is a hacking device. It is used to steal passwords from a system, or to install a backdoor, or to install a keylogger in it. What happens is, you'll have to just connect it into the system. After 2 to 3 seconds you can remove this pen drive. Okay, after 2 to 3 seconds. Okay, and your job is done. So in India, it is not available. Okay, you'll have to import it from any other country, and it is very very costly. Okay, so you can make such things. See, this is illegal. Okay, to do conduct it, but just for testing purpose on your own system, or to make as a project, you can do these things. Okay, other than that, there is another thing what you can make is USB kill. Say it looks like something like this. Okay, it is the whole kit which you get. It is a pen drive in it. Okay, and this is what the kit looks like. Okay, what USB kill is, it is a very powerful hacking device. What happens is, whenever you connect this system to this pen drive to any system, the whole kernel crashes. Okay, this is so dangerous that in whatever operating system you'll connect it, either it can be a phone, it can be a PC, it can be a Mac or Linux, whatever, even in your smart TVs as well, it will shut down forever. Okay, it is so powerful. So again, this is again very costly. See, you can see the price over here. Okay, it is 129.95 euros. Okay, so it is very costly. So you can make something like this just for testing purpose on your own system, that pen drive through which you can basically crash a system. Okay, or through which you can lock the system. Whenever you connect the pen drive over there, the system gets locked. Or else you can make something like to break the passwords. Okay, whenever you connect a pen drive to somewhere on any system, it is able to crack the password of that system. Doesn't matter how powerful that password may be. Okay, in this way you can explore things and you can search for different projects. Okay, see, all the password cracking softwares or the password cracking pen drives, these are used by the law enforcement agencies as well. Okay, when I was working with Gurugram Police, I was shown a mobile forensics kit. Okay, I don't know if it is over here or not. I'll show it. Forensics kit. It's something, I think, yes, it looks like this. Okay, it has everything in it. Okay, whatever I was shown was something like this. Okay, they have, this is portable. See, there are rulers in it, and they have all the equipments in it, the dummy mobile phones to clone the devices. Okay, and different kinds of tools to crack a password or to do a there are live pen drives as well which conduct forensics investigations as well, so you can do these things as well. Okay, make your own tool and you can put it in your pen drive. You can say that, okay, this is my live forensics tool or something. Or else you can make a device cloner. Okay, you can make something like whenever that pen drive connects somewhere into the system or something, then it can clone the whole device onto that pen drive. Okay, so in this way, just research things. Okay, you can make different softwares as well, password cracking softwares, as I said, vulnerability analysis softwares. Okay, so these are just what software is it. It is just a Python script. Okay, I don't want you to make very big projects, but at least something that you can show after this internship. Okay, so in this way you can go for different kind of tools, different kind of techniques, different kinds of scripts. So what you need to do is, you'll have to Google things. For example, best cybersecurity projects. Okay, in this way, uh, sorry, if you go to all, you'll get so many websites over there. See, you can make a packet sniffer, or you can make SQL injection, something that can detect. Okay, then you can Google it. Okay, basically, ideas for beginners. You can go to YouTube. You can think. Okay, in this way, you can make whatever you want. But the thing is that you'll have to research about it. Okay, so this was about projects from my side. Now, if you have any question, you can ask me, and then we'll proceed towards the exploitation part. Any questions? Okay, let's proceed. before proceeding further, I will be showing a tool to you which we'll be using for hacking and which is worldwide used for hacking into systems. That is Metasploit Framework, also known as MSF Console. So many of you might be familiar with this particular tool, so we'll be using it. Okay, coming over here. I'll full screen it. So before jumping to that particular tool, I will be showing you what that tool is used for. Okay, what that tool is made for. Okay, so if you remember, we went to a directory that was user share and map, and then we went to scripts directory. Okay, share is a folder which has all the pre-installed files of the tools. Okay, so in the same way, we have the Metasploit framework files over there as well. Share, then Metasploit and framework. Clear? Now if I do ls, see, these are the files, okay, of this particular tool, but I am genuinely interested in the modules section. So I'll navigate to modules, clear it, ls. See, I have so many things over here: auxiliary, encoder, evasion, exploits, and payloads, something. Okay, so if I go to payloads, cd payloads, and if I do ls, okay, so I have so many things over here: stages, singles, staggers. If I go to, for example, exploits, okay, there are so many exploits over here. What exploits are? Exploits are where your viruses are there. Okay, the scripts that are used to hack into a system. Okay, so through the exploits of Metasploit framework, I can hack into a system where Unix is there, Windows, then Linux, okay, then the Firefox as well, okay, then I can go into Apple iOS as well, and we can hack into Android as well. Okay, so in this way you can hack into these many things, right? So this is a very, very powerful tool which is generally used to hack into system. What happens is, first of all, you will do information gathering, then you will do scanning, then you will do enumeration, then vulnerability analysis, and depending upon those vulnerabilities, depending upon these reports, you use this particular tool to hack into different systems. Okay. Now coming to this particular tool, type MSF console. It takes little bit of time to get loaded, okay, because it is a very, very powerful tool. So we'll wait for it. Okay, see, whenever you will log into MSF console, every time this welcome banner will be different. Okay, every single time. So not to worry about it, because this is just an illusion of this particular tool. Okay, so whenever you'll get into it, you will find a very different welcome banner over here. Right? Now, see, on this particular tool, you can run the basic Linux commands as well. For example, if I'll type date, see, I got the date over here. If I type cal, I'll get calendar over here. If I want to go into any directory, so I can go into that. Okay. Uh, okay. So I can do apt get update and upgrade all the things over here. Okay, so you can run all the basic commands which you run in your particular Linux. You can use all those things here as well. Clear? So this is a tool which we'll be using for hacking. Okay, and if I'll go to just show you the exploits, for example, show exploits. So we'll wait. The same way I'll open it again. Let's wait for it. Okay, MSF console is starting over here. See, a different banner over here. Now I can, for example, exploits in that particular tab, I want to see the payloads over here. So see, there are 1962 exploits, 558 payloads, okay, 1095 auxiliary things over here. So if I want to see payloads, I type payloads. Okay, this is taking time because see, there are these many exploits. Okay, this is payloads. So see, all these are payloads. Okay, through which you can hack into systems. Okay, these are all for Unix. Okay, then start Windows. Okay, then you'll get Metapreter, again Linux over here. Then these are for Java. Okay, so these OS X is for Apple. Okay, all these things. If I go down, see, so these are what are used to hack into different kind of systems. Okay, see over here I have exploits for Windows. Then I have, if I go down, there are so many, literally so many things, right? So in this way, you can, this particular tool is used to hack into different kind of systems. Okay, but before beginning to this particular thing, what we'll do is we'll get out of this particular thing. What is happening? Okay, I'll get out of it first of all. Clear it. Okay. So first we'll run for Nmap, but for this I'll have to start this particular machine. Today I will be telling you two simple methods to get into a system, and from tomorrow we will be diving very deep, okay, in this particular thing. Okay, now the next thing is what is exploitation and post exploitation. Always remember, when you hack into a system, that process is known as exploitation. And once you are into the system, then whatever you do in that particular system, whatever activity you perform, that is known as post exploitation. Okay, post exploitation can never be done directly. First you will have to exploit the system, and then only you can do a post exploitation. I'll log into it. So I already know that thing.
Sir,
Yeah.
can you repeat again?
What, post exploitation and exploitation thing?
Yes.
Okay, so see, when you hack into a system, okay, that process is known as exploitation. And once you are into that system, then whatever activity you perform, that is post exploitation. Post exploitation means the thing which comes after exploitation. Okay, So you can never perform post exploitation directly. For this, first you'll have to do exploitation. Okay. So I'll run a command for nmap -a dot 168 dot 0 dot 28 and okay. So there are very simple two methods to hack into a system. Okay, very simple methods. Okay, that I'll be discussing today, and from tomorrow we will be, as I said, getting into the deeper phase. Okay, see, firstly the thing is FTP port and the another is SSH port. Always remember, SSH port can only be exploited if you know the username and password of that particular target. Okay, in our case, we know the username and password is MSF admin of this particular metasploitable machine. Okay, so if SSH port is open and you know the username and password, then it is very easy to hack into this part. And even if you have the FTP open and you have anonymous logins allowed, then it is very easy to log in as well. But there is a difference. The difference is whenever you log into FTP with the use of anonymous login, you will not get allowed to do certain things. Okay, it will be a restricted thing. Okay, you will not have permissions to conduct so many things. But if you get into a system using SSH port, you will be having the admin rights, that the root privileges, okay, into that particular system. So firstly we'll moving with the FTP port and then we will be going with the SSH port. Clear? So go to next tab. See, it is very easy to get into FTP. Okay, what you need to do is just type FTP and the IP address, your target IP address. Okay, and just press enter. Over here it is asking for name. Name stands for username. Okay, in this particular point, don't write MSF admin because you will not be able to get into it. What the username will be? See, anonymous FTP login is allowed. In this particular part, anonymous is the login username and password. Okay, just type anonymous. Now, if you specify the password, it is good. If you directly press enter, it is good as well. Okay, if you want to type the password, press enter. See, you get the FTP system over here. If not, if you directly press enter as well, then also you will get this particular thing. Clear? Now, if I do ls, I got this thing, but it is not properly defined what these things are. Okay. If I do ls - all, over here, see, I got directories, but I don't know what these things are. Right? This is why I am restricted to this particular port. If I get into a system using FTP port, this is what I am restricted to. Okay, see, we know that there is a vulnerable folder over here. Vulnerable folder means a folder which stands for vulnerable. See, okay, if I type cd vulnerable over here, see, failed to change directory. Okay, this is the drawback of FTP port. Okay, although I have hacked the system, I am inside the system, but still I don't have the root privileges. Okay, this is how to hack into FTP. But yes, one thing you can do is, if for example there is a file over here, let's say any file, let's say I name it hacker.txt, and you want to see that particular file. So what happens is, if you type cat and hacker.txt, it will not allow you to see those contents. But what you can do is, if there is something over here, you can type wget and then the file name. For example, hacker.txt. Although it is not there, I'm just telling you for an example. And now if you press enter, that particular file will be copied into your system. Okay, this is how hackers exploit this particular thing. Clear? Clear, right? Okay, see, it is invalid command as well because I don't have the root privileges. I'll have to type exec and it said goodbye. Now it's clear. Okay, so this was one method to hack into FTP, although we will be discussing the most effective method to hack into this tomorrow. The next process is hacking into SSH port. Clear? Just type SSH. Now you have to specify the username of that particular machine, that is MSF admin. Then @ and then the IP address of this particular machine and press enter. Now it is asking for password. Password is what the password is for that particular machine, that is MSF admin. Enter. See, I have the root privileges now. Now if I do ls, I got this particular file. If I go to vulnerable, see, I am into it. Now I can type clear as well. Okay, so this particular command is not acceptable over here. Okay, but still you can do things. See. Okay, so in this way you will get the root privileges. If you type exit, you will get logged out of this particular system and the connection will be closed. So these were two methods to hack into a machine. These were very simple methods. So I request you guys to practice it today. Okay, and now if you want to ask anything else, you can ask me, and tomorrow we will be getting into the deeper phase. And the class tomorrow can be lengthy. Okay, it can be lengthy. Now I am open for questions. Yes, Ankush sir.
Sir, if I forgot the Kali Linux password, then how to recover it?
If you forget Kali Linux password, sir, it is very
This is my
complicated
question,
to
sir.
recover the password of Linux. Okay, so I suggest that. Okay. So see, there are some tools, okay, into the market that you can use. Okay, because directly recovering the password is very difficult for Linux. Okay, it is seriously very difficult. So you'll have to go with certain tools. Okay, into the market, you'll have to use those things. And if you want to change the password, if you know the password, if you are into the system, you can change it by simple commands. Okay, so that was the thing. Okay, anyone else?
Sir, excuse me.
Yeah.
So usually we don't have that FTP and SSH port open, right?
Yeah, usually we don't have it, but in some cases we get these things open. Okay, and don't worry, I will be telling you how to exploit ports. Okay, in that particular thing, you will know how actually things are hacked. Okay, I'll show these things into this Metasploit framework as well. And when we will be solving the CTS, then also I'll tell you how to hack into a system. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, anyone else?
Sir,
Yeah.
this commands will work for Android mobile also or not?
This
Like
process.
you are doing FTP with Linux commands, no? For Android
Yeah.
mobile also, there are FTP and SSH.
Yes, there are also, but the thing is that you can only hack a system when you are connected with that system in some way. Okay, in mobiles you cannot install a virtual machine. Okay,
Okay,
see,
sir.
you if you are not connected with this particular system, you will not be able to do this. See, if I do ping, and if I ping this particular thing, uh, see, I'm getting replies over here. Okay, that means I am connected to this system. Only in that particular point you can perform nmap or something. If you are not connected with this system by any means, you will not be able to conduct these things.
Okay, sir. For mobile IP address, we ping get results. We can attack, sir.
Yeah, you can attack through these some techniques, okay, FTP and SSH. But when I'll show you how the actual things are,
Okay,
that
sir.
things cannot be performed by mobile.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, why are we unable to list the directories? Okay, directories in vulnerable directory, even though we are using. See, because the things are that we are not having the shell access. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, although we have got into that particular system through SSH port, but still there are some of the privileges which are not allowed to the SSH port as well. Okay, so for that you will need shell access of that particular system. Okay, anyone else? Yes, Ankush sir.
Sir, what is the mean of shell?
Okay, shell means, see, shell is particularly a payload or a kind of thing through which we access a system. Okay, shell is particularly a virus or something that enables us to get complete control on that particular system. We have two kinds of shell. One is the reverse shell, another one is bind shell. Okay, so reverse shell is where the target connects us back. Okay, what happens is we install some kind of payload, okay, into that particular system, and then we wait for that particular machine, for our target to connect back to us. Okay, this process is known as reverse shell. Bind shell is where we try to connect to a system through ports.
तेरा तो इंतजार है चल मैं भी नहीं ना
Clear?
खत्म हो गया.
Ankush
Okay,
sir, is
sir.
clear? Is it clear to you? Okay.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. See, whatever we conducted today, it was bind shell. Okay, we connected to this port through FTP and through SSH, where we tried to connect to this particular target with ports. Okay, this is bind shell. Reverse shell will be when this particular target will try to connect us back. Okay, yes, Ankush sir.
Sir, no, I want to ask a genuine question. Are you working in an industry?
Honestly, not in a company. Okay, but I have worked with industries. Okay, I have worked with various different companies. For example, I have indirectly worked with Quick Heal. Then I have assisted CID intelligence. Okay, I have assisted Ajmer Police. Okay, so in this way I work.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so ma'am, have you taken the attendance? Shefali ma'am?
Yes, sir, I have taken the attendance.
Okay, okay. So if you have any questions, you can stay or else you can leave the meeting. Thank you everyone. I'll stop the screen.
तुम यार बाहर लगा जाओ हमसे।